These are numerically generated solution curves for this differential equation here. Y prime was 1 over 1 minus x squared minus y squared. So right, this one had problems when 1 equals x squared plus y squared. That was a circle around the origin. So I tried to give as much real estate here to the images. By the way, the images were generated by the directed field plotter, and this is the link. I'll put it in the description of the video. I can't put a link in the video. They were made very kindly by Ariel Barton. The images are subject to Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. And so there you go. I'll put those links in the link to the license in the description of this video. But I try to give as much real estate to those images. So you can see here I focused on making the circle, and I can click on different points to get different solution curves to show up, and I tried to get an outline of the circle. So obviously this did a much better job than me, but that's the circle with radius 1 centered around the origin, x squared plus y squared equals 1. So they can either go kind of right over the circle and barely skim it and then continue on their way. They can also go under it. And then they also, if they get to the circle, this numerical plotter had some problems when the slope became infinite and it just stopped. So that's the circle right there. And the slope here, they go down, they eventually become, that should be negative infinity. Yeah, negative infinity. These, I think are also negative infinity. Yeah, I think so. All right. Then over here, I zoomed in on the circles, right? This is now negative 1 to 1. And I tried to get kind of the boundaries of the circle with these ones, and then I clicked a lot in the circle to get these curves. So these ones, it looks like have positive infinity slope when they start, and eventually they go back to positive infinity, and they would normally join back up and continue on their way. And right, so the slope has to be defined, and it can't just flip from negative to positive infinity all of a sudden. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so that's why the existence uniqueness theorem, pointed out some potential problems around the circle of radius 1 around the origin. And this is a very nice plotter. I highly recommend you use it. It's online. You don't have to install anything, and it works really, really well, even for these somewhat nasty differential equations that end up with extremely high slopes.